Welcome back to Rolling Line, continuing our work here on Rugby Station. Circa 1990-ish is the plan, but this is actually a 2002 image. Couldn't find anything in the years in between that and 1945 that I could actually work from. So we're working from the 2002 image, but it's still before all the major refurbs were done. And I've made quite a bit of progress, as you can see. This helix is probably going to get reworked, but I've started to put in some scenery and started to plan out the lines here on the way out to Birmingham. I've started to put in a nice little bit of a fiddle yard underneath as well, with some storage for various different trains, as you can see. So that is all done and dusted. We've got this continuing over here till the line splits up so that it can approach and merge with the lines coming from Nuneaton. And then we go into what you've already seen, the station work over here. Nothing over here has changed. Haven't done any extra. Haven't changed anything. That's all as it was. But as I say, I have been very busy trying to work out these bits over here. So let me pull up Google Earth. Okay. So this is as it is in 2025. We are going to turn on historical data. And then we're going to go back as far as we can to working images here. This is what we're working from mainly, but I can actually go back a couple of extra years to 1999 here. This little bit of bridge that you see here, if we just move this up here out of the way, let's try and get as much space as we can. This bit of road tile here is just to represent this little bit of road over here. And that's going to go over the top. And then the lines continue. We get a siding here, so we actually have 4 lines, but it's only actually 3. Because one of the lines stops back here. That's the end of the line, somewhere over here. And it got ripped up. So there you can see it's pretty much the end of the line over here somewhere. Around this siding. But we do want 4 lines coming in, so I may take a little bit of artistic liberty and bring a 4th line all the way down here. Yeah, that's currently going to be a siding, as the map data suggests, but I may take a little bit of artistic liberty with that, because I'm planning to do a double helix here. What I want to do is have these lines here, these 2, connect up to our fiddle yard here. So they're going to continue to come across here. There'll be more storage space over here. And then they will curve around and run down here onto that connection there. Probably going to change the way this sits, and now we're going to have that bridge there. I'm probably going to bring that up to this point here and then loop it round back around that way. So it'll be a very long passing line underneath, and then these 2 lines I want them to go out and then follow underneath our main board this way, because what I'm planning is for 2 of these lines to come underneath and go that way and link up over here, and the other 2 lines to link up and come up over here. So we'll end up with trains disappearing off of there, and then potentially either coming out over here or over here to come back in. And I'll also, the other option is as well to have a couple of trains go off that way and then come back on that way, because we've got when we get past here, we've got a split in this. So these 4 lines will go off, and 2 will go out towards Daventry, the other 2 will go off towards Watford. So there is the possibility of having those 2 lines come down and go that way, and then the Watford lines coming down and underneath and then going back out that way. There's also the possibility of having some trains turning around and then coming back out this way. So I've got to figure out exactly how I want to do that. Still umming and ahhing in my head, but I do want to have trains coming from different directions. So trains coming off this way might reappear on that side of the map, or they might reappear on this side of the map. Likewise, trains going off here will probably reappear either from there or from there. Haven't quite figured everything out yet. I think the most sensible option would probably be to have trains from here coming down, coming up this way, coming off this way, and then disappearing off one of those 2 lines, and then I'm not sure what to do from that point, because I do want to have some trains going off this way, coming back and coming up this way again, but the way the lines merge, there is no crossover that way. So for continuous running, this is where it gets a bit weird. This is why I'm thinking maybe the trains that come off here all go to here, or some of the trains go off to here and the other trains go off to come back up this way. So it might well be that our fiddle yard under here doesn't actually connect up this way. It might be that 2 of those lines will come down and will go that way. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out in my head. It's a bit messy, but I will get it kind of sussed at some point in the future. So I need to build helixes over this way. This here is where I'm going to put the split. So that's where the scenery is going to end. Let's grab one of these. Is that details or is that terrain? It might be terrain. Nope, must be room. It's room. There we go. Let's grab one of these. And we'll plonk that down here. Like that. And that's going to be where this will disappear. So everything here will be hidden behind our scenic break that way. It does mean these trains are going to kind of disappear into the distance. That is an overbridge where the trains go over, as is that. They're very narrow lane tunnels between farmland. So can't really put a break in there, and I don't want to take it too far down here, just simply because the longer these lines become, the more scenery I have to put in, and the bigger the chance that there is of doing something dodgy to the frame rate. So what I do want to do though is grab these points and drop these in over here. So if I take that one out, as you can see, the lines currently, there is a split that way, but there isn't anything going the other way until you get all the way down there. Now, if that line is going to stay like that, then what I need is for the points to go the opposite way. So I need to take that one out. I believe. And it doesn't want to turn the way I want it, because it never does. So I want to be on this line with the ability to go onto that line. Just in case. I don't know if I'll ever need it, but just in case, I want to be able to have that option. There we go. That works. Take that out. Copy that. Turn that around. Almost had it. Let's get that piece out of the way. There we go. And then I want a straight piece, please. There we go. So now I've got the option to flip these over that way if I need to, just so I can make sure I've got freight on the right line and passengers on the right line, or an up and down line if I decide to split things up. Underneath, which is currently my thinking. As you can see, I've separated the lines out, so I'm going to need to create a group. Actually, let's grab all four like that. That'll make things a little easier. Actually, no, it won't. Because I want to have the... I'm trying to decide if I want to have the helix, you know, one going that way and this one coming this way and going that way, or if I have one going into a helix here and then the other one going into a helix the same direction but behind. Choices. I think I might go for the second option, just so we don't have a huge, great big block here at the end. It's still going to be a bit clunky either way. I also need to get rid of the ballast. There we go. So if I do go down this route, that means I need these lines to start to fall away pretty quickly. Let's go down by 10. So that we get enough of a gap. Let's go one more. I've got different radius of curves here to choose from as well that I've put in, just in case I can get them to go inside each other. Which might happen or might not, I don't know. Let's go this way. Drop down by 10. Let's take the smaller radius of curves. they are still going down. Good. Okay. The tracks do seem to just level out automatically after just 90 degrees. 180 degrees, which is a little frustrating. So you never really get a proper all the way around gradient. Okay, that's the first problem. Alright, so that's not going to work. Let's go with the smaller radius curves all round, I think. Those out of the way because they're already with the gradient. Let's grab that one instead. Let's send that the other way. And that should just be fine. So grab those. Are they still going down? Yes, they are. Now they're starting to level out again, so now I have to manually tell them to go down again. Again, they're not going down enough. Let me try putting in a different bridge type. That's the one we're using. We don't want that. Let's get rid of that one. So let's try that one. That one's a much shallower one. Yeah, there we go. Let's paint those as well while we're here. I'll need to repaint these rails. That's why, look, that one's flat. Or as close to flat as it's going to be, so we don't want that. No wonder it looked a bit funky. Let me go back to that then, because I would prefer it to look like that way if possible. Again, still coming down, and then it levels off on this one. This is the annoying thing about making the helixes, is that you can't get a consistent gradient the whole way down. Or at least I haven't figured out how to do it, if there is a way. Don't know if I've messed that one up. Oh boy. Yeah, that's a cursed curve. Oh shit, I just hit delete. And then stuck that one all the way over there. So much fiddly stuff. Evening, George. Playing Rolling Line. It's a model railway builder. Alright, so have I got the height? Not yet. So I'm using 90-degree curves. I'm going to switch to a 45-degree now. Oh, we are too low. Okay. Didn't expect that to be the case. Will this work? That just about works. Let's repaint. That's a little awkward, that curve in, I think. What I might try and do is take that back, and bring it in at maybe a slightly better angle. That's a little bit better. It's not the smoothest of entrances. Can I just get this to go at the right altitude? What is it? It's left alt and left mouse. That hasn't done anything at all. So let's do that instead. That's now going up too much. Let's just drag it down just a little bit. Go back to my flexi track. There it is. Give me a low buck. Is that any better? It's not. And I think the reason is because I don't actually need this to come down anymore. So if we start it higher up, we should be in better shape. I do still kind of like the idea. Whoops. Of them going behind each other, which would need it to come down. So we're not going to do that. We are going to go side by side but opposite directions, so we can separate them out into different directions. Into two separate up and down lines. All right. Are they my bigger radius curves? Feels like they are. So down by 10. That's going to be in the way now. That's alright, I can move that like so. No longer an issue. Again, not enough clearance, we're not going down enough of an angle. Take the first step one down. Just to get it started. There we go. Now we'll grab our curves. Don't know if I'm progressively making this steeper or not. It's hard to judge. I think I might be. It certainly looks a bit more consistent in terms of gradient this time. And height-wise, it's still at the right height. Okay. Don't know if there's enough clearance on the flexi here. That doesn't look too bad. So it looks like I've got my first helix done. In the position that I want it as well. Got a little bit of test track in place, so let's run a train over it. See if it works. Just drop those out of the way down there. We just happen to have a train. Isn't that handy? It's on the wrong line, but we can... If we grab the right thing. There we go. We can move that over. Oops. Shit, where have I just stuck that? There. What I wanted to do was drop it, but not on the track. Oh, for God's sake. It's fine. We'll leave it there. Right, let's... I don't have a controller. There we go. Let's grab one of those off the wall. Oh, that's a very steep first turn. But we have clearance all the way down. That is steep, isn't it? And I'm worried with it being a tight radius that might cause collisions. See how much the front of the train is sticking out well into the other line. I might have to rebuild this with a wider radius. Should be a pain and a shame, but don't want a collision. So back to the sandbox over here, or the track box. That's as wide as I can go. If I go with a 90-degree bend, let's just go with 45 degrees. I can go wider still then. Let's go with a 10-degree radius. So, having actually managed to get my helix looking pretty good, it's also way too tight. I did wonder if I was pushing my luck with that radius of curves. It turns out, yes, I am. Very much so. I'm going to bring that down an extra layer. It looks like it's smoothed off again there. I just want a nice consistent gradient all the way down, but it just auto corrects and I don't know how to stop it from doing that. It does look like it is still coming down. Now I'm not so sure. That looks positively flat now. I need to think about this. That's also a much bigger radius than I was intending. I'm debating to just go to a straight 4-track helix. I'm just going to go to 2. Just going to make it a 2-track helix. That's just going to make things so much simpler. Which means I'm going to need to change... Oops. All of this. Come on, give me the rotation I want. It's giving me everything but. That's what I want. Maybe if I put a piece of track in there. Come on, please. These are too far apart now anyway. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to have to pull everything back together again. So I've got my 4 lines spaced there. And I need them to go to 2. Looks about equally spaced. Okay, so from there, put that point there, that point there. That's okay. Grab my flexi. Okay, so now I need to figure out. Now I'm going to simplify things at this end. So this is going to be 2 tracks coming in. Let's get rid of all of this. That radius is too big. I'm going to need to settle for something a little less over the top on that. So if I've got 4 lines over there, that line's going to come down here, go out underneath there, then come up. It's going to come down that way, go that way, and then go into the tunnel there, come out over there, come back out this way, and then that still doesn't give me It's breaking my brain trying to figure this out. So I'm trying to think about having multiple lines active at the same time. So we've got a train running on this line. It's going to go out and then could go either way on that one. It'll be 2 lines going that way, up and down, 2 lines going that way, up and down. So I'm going to have 2 trains coming in this direction. I can send one this way, and I can send at least one that way. And then send a train from that direction and a train from that direction. Yeah, I really need to put some serious thought into how I want the underneath of this layout to be, because it's going to affect how I build helixes and where I put fiddle yards and all that stuff. So I think maybe the best option would be to turn my attention to the opposite side of the layout and get all this stuff plotted in. Run these lines down this way until we get to our splits over here. I'll have to go to 2004 to see the satellite imagery for there. So we have the rail freight terminal here going into Crick Tunnel. It's just a small one as it goes underneath the M1, and then we have the Kilsby Tunnel over here, which is a fair bit longer. As you see, it comes down here into the Kilsby Tunnel, comes out here, and then joins up and runs alongside the M1 for a little while before breaking off and going to Watford. Yeah, I think that'll be the next thing that I work on. My brain is a little bit fried because I've been doing silly sleeping schedule recently. Again, not through choice, just unable to sleep when I want to. So instead of carrying on with that tonight, I think I'm just going to end the stream here. I will work on some of the on this half of the station exit in some spare time when I get some spare time, and then I try and do like a progress report update stream next week, I suppose, next weekend. So I'm going to call it a day here, but between the 2 streams, this one and the last one, as I say, a lot of progress has been made. I have run some test trains in and out of the station down this line here into the sidings underneath. Everything seems to be okay there so far. I'm going to have a lot more space underneath to play about with than I thought I did, so I may rework the fiddle yard as well, so it's not quite so cramped and crowded, because it is a little I don't want to say squashed, but a little congested with the way I've done it. So you've got the line coming in, 3 sidings on this side, and then connecting them all up, the line moves to the outside, and we have 4 sidings, and then 4 sidings there, and then they all connect up again, and I may change that. So we shall see. Plenty for me to think about. But that's it from me, though. I will be back Sunday with a live stream. I'll be streaming. Tomorrow. I'll be back on tomorrow with a live stream, streaming some Jurassic World Evolution 3 in sandbox mode. And then back on Monday with my F1 Manager stream, and there'll be some more Jurassic World videos going live on the channel as well soon. So take care, and I will see you all again very soon.